Hello people, it's been a while. I have this, but it says February wrap-up, which I am late to, but here we go. Here are the books that I read in February, and I read quite a lot more in February than I did in January, which is it's not saying much because I read 3 books in January. Which one do I start with? I'm gonna start with the manga because I read Spanish, not Spanish manga. I read manga in Spanish because it's cheaper getting them from Spain than it is getting them in Portugal. So, anyway, I read volume 1 of Toilet Bound Hanako-kan, or Jibaku. I forgot the name in Japanese, okay? I forgot the name in Japanese. But Toilet Bound Hanako-kan, and I was watching the anime when it was airing last year, I think, or the year before that. I loved it, so of course I had to start the manga, but it took me a long time to get to the manga, but now it's here. I love it. It's like creepy story with a very cutesy art style. Like look at this. I love her. I love her. The other one that I read was the second volume of Owari no Seraph. This one I didn't forget the name in Japanese. Very gay. And I watched the anime way back when, like 2017, maybe 16. And I also have been trying to read the manga for a really long time, and now I'm on volume 2, basically. I also really love it. It's gay vampires and like very gruesome and angsty story. Yeah, also love it. For the books I read, actually, before I get to the books, I also read another comic, but it was for free online, and you can read it too, I think, on the artist's website. It's called Cosmonites, and I read volume 1. I forgot the artist's name, but I'll put the cover here. It's sapphics in space, and it's just look at the art style. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. So highly recommend it. Go read it now if you can. I'm gonna try to put the link down below. I don't know why I'm talking as if I'm nervous for being on camera again, so I'm sorry if I come off as kind of a little bit hectic. I am kind of nervous. I don't think I'm ever gonna be comfortable on camera, but we're just gonna move past that. Then for other books that I read, there weren't physical books because I have these over here. But I read 3 other books. 2 on Kindle, and 1 was an ARC. One of them was a Brazilian book called Na Mesma Estação, which would translate to In the Same Station, and I affectionately dubbed it the Brazilian One Less Stop. There it is. As a joke, because it's not the same story at all, but it does share the sapphics falling in love in a magic train station element. It's really sweet. It has plus size rep. The main character is a black Brazilian woman. It's very short, like it's a novella. It has 40 pages, I think, but it's really sweet. It's very cute. So if you can read Portuguese, I also highly recommend it. It's by Carol Ruedas, I think. I'm gonna put the cover here. And then the other book that I read on Kindle was The Bennett Women. Y'all have the vlog on my opinions of that book, so I'm not gonna go into that here, but I gave it 5 stars. Like, the writing style is not perfect, but I don't fucking care. It's like a Pride and Prejudice retelling. I just loved it. 5 stars. The other book was Love Decoded by Jennifer Yen, um, which it's the arc that I got from Elderwish, however you pronounce the fucking website. And it reads like a Netflix teen movie. And that's not in a bad way. It's just like it has that very distinctive feel. But I was kind of bored in the beginning. Uh, it's cute though. Like it's a coming of age story with a little side of romance. Friends to lovers, best friends to lovers. It's cute. Like if young adult romance coming of age thing is your thing, then highly recommend it. And then for the physical books, because yeah, these babies right here. Okay, first that I read was actually this one. I began in January and I finished it in February. I don't have a lot of good to say about this one, and I don't mean to be overly critical of a black woman's book. I know this book is important for a lot of young girls. I just personally didn't. It wasn't a book for me, as it isn't supposed to be. I didn't enjoy it. That's what I'm trying to say, and oh god, okay. I read The First Woman by Jennifer Nansubuga Makumbi. I hope I'm saying that right. It's also a coming of age story with the main character Kirabu, as she goes through like her teenage years until like her 20s, very early 20s, and it's very much about Ugandan culture, Ugandan folklore, and this character's desire to know her mother. But also like having to, not having, but like realizing through all of it that she's had all of these amazing, not motherly, but like amazing women related to her that took care of her and yeah, kind of took the role of a mother. It's an enjoyable read. It's just like long and the letters are tiny, so it took me pretty much the entire month of February to read this, but it's a good read. It's a good book. It's a really good book. And I think my favorite characters were the old ladies. Actually, the Kirabo's grandmothers. There's a part specifically for them, and that was my favorite part of the entire book. I just loved their relationship and the conflict that it had. It's just, oh, a little bit painful, but good. Very good. Then I also read, finally, because I've had this book for ages, The Picture of Dorian Gray. I did a thread on Twitter of like my little reactions to it. I love this. I loved this. I am not a big horror fan, but this kind of horror, I can really get behind this kind of horror. I mean, the only issue that I really had with it was the fact that there's like Oscar Wilde had a weird thing with the Jewish owner of the theater, and every time he showed up, which was only twice, but every time he showed up, it was mentioned that he was really into money. So that was kind of unnecessary. But the story is really well written, and as you can see, I mean, you can't really see, but I tabbed it a lot because I love the quotes. So many good quotes. Next one, a reread, actually. Oh my god, I reread the first Percy Jackson book, The Lightning Thief. I went back in time, and oh god, reading this as an older person, like older than 18, it gave me a whole new level of stress for these characters. They're freaking, they're 12. What? They were 12. And it gets so much worse from here. It just gets so much worse from here for them. And now there's the Percy Jackson series coming to Disney Plus. I don't know freaking when, but I'm excited for that. Seeing that on screen is gonna make me cry. It's gonna make me cry a little bit. And then there I have two more. I read If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. Frances Cha. It's a feminist novel about women and beauty standards in South Korea. It's kind of brutal, really. And it follows four different women and their their friendships, because like one of the characters only really interacts with the others at the very end. But it's good. It's a good book. I also tabbed it quite a bit because there was some good quotes, and the characters are likable, even if they get a little bit extreme on some issues. It's a short read, and I enjoyed it. I read it in like a day, actually, so good, recommend it. I read Welcome to Nightvale, the first book of Welcome to Nightvale. Listen, I have an issue with podcasts and the way that like I can't just sit and listen to something unless it's like music, and having no visuals for it, I just don't feel connected to that at all. But when I found out, but I listened to a few episodes and I really liked the concept of Nightvale, and when I found out there were books, I had to get them. This is a very confusing read, though. Like, if you're not familiar with the Nightvale podcast at all, I would, it's hard to recommend this to someone who doesn't know the podcast and doesn't know what it's about, because it's just so confusing. It's freaking confusing. In Nightvale, nothing makes sense, and like some things are explained and others just are. Like, you know how we just exist? Nightvale just exists, and there's not a whole lot of explanation for a bunch of different things that happen that are in this book. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's fun. It's a very fun read. It's fun and confusing, but it's fun. I'm not selling this book at all, but it's just... it's really confusing, but it's good. I really can't sell this to someone who doesn't know what the podcast is about. Like, you have to be on board with all the weirdness and confusion. Otherwise, this is gonna just be annoying to you. Annoying and possibly give you a headache. So that was all. Like I said, I read a lot more than I did in January, and I know it was Black History Month in the United States, and I think Canada, and maybe... No, it wasn't in the UK, right? I'm not sure. But I don't plan ahead for these things, because I'm kind of a mood reader, and I tend to pick up books just like a lot at once. So I just never prepare for any of that. And if I did, I wouldn't do it in February, because I am not Eurasian, or Canadian. I am Brazilian, and Brazil has Black Awareness Month in November. So if I were to prepare for those things, I would do Black Month for November, not February. But either way, you should be reading diverse books all year round, not just on these events, okay? I feel like I can't breathe anymore. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to spread love and, leave a like, comment, maybe subscribe if you enjoyed the video and my chaoticness. And bye!